Hey everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. I hope you're doing well. It's been raining here in Texas for, pretty much a month now. You know, we do get periods where it's not raining and all that kind of stuff, but now it's a nice sunny part, but we had rain up through, I guess, yesterday, and we'll have rain in a couple days for another several days. So one of the benefits of it is that our lakes get refilled. I don't know if you can see it from here. Let's turn on this one here. So, we have tons of lakes here in Texas. From what I understand, they're all man-made. But let me face this way so I can have my back into the wind. So what I wanted to cover today is resting and rehab. So a lot of you know that I went through 2 surgeries. It's, ending of May of 2021, and I went through 2 shoulder surgeries, one in September and one in November of 2020, right? Figured, during the COVID year, it was kind of slow, so what better time than that to go and get my shoulder surgeries done, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while. So what I did was, got them both done. Got one in September, one in November. I don't know if I'd recommend doing that though, only because you get put on anesthesia twice, and that wasn't a very, I don't know if a smart thing, or certainly wasn't a comfortable thing to do, but it is what it is, and I got it done. And what that did, what that time has allowed me to do, is allowed me to kind of, in addition to rehabbing my shoulders, it allowed me to rest the rest of my body. Because, I constantly get beat up and stuff, and, even when I run into classes now, I don't do too much of the training in classes. I still teach, but I will train privately, and I don't train really hard privately, but I still do private lessons for those who want and need them. But here's the thing. What we have a hard time doing as jiu-jitsu practitioners is slowing down sometimes when our body is crying for it, right? Sometimes you just need to get a little bit of sleep, which maybe you have been. Sometimes you need to just eat better so you can get better energy into your body. And other times you actually need to take a pause from training. And if you don't, what often happens is that your body will tell you in a different way. One of the ways that will tell you is by breaking something. So we have some students who, who kind of maybe on the verge of overtraining. Some you overtrain, some you undertrain. And those are 2 times when you can get injured as well. When you overtrain, your body's immune system just really isn't able to keep up with all the stress you're putting onto it. And what will happen is something will break. Now, I can explain this kind of in a way like when you're thinking about cars. So, for my son, I bought him an old beater F-150 pickup, like 30-year-old one. Now here's the thing, it's a great truck, it runs pretty well, but when you think about leaks, that thing will leak. And why does it leak? Well, it's because seals, there's like a bunch of rubber seals that all go throughout the engine. And over time, they kind of, perish, right? And they deteriorate. But here's the thing, that you might have a leak at one part of the engine, and you go and fix that leak. And you think to yourself, all right, that's the only place that was leaking, we're good to go. Well, you drive it for a little bit and another place starts leaking. You're like, dang it, I thought I fixed the leak. Well, you did. Now you have another leak to fix, because now that's the weak link, right? And so on and so forth, until basically you replaced all the seals and you were able to get everything, with fresh seals. Same thing happens with your muscles. So if your body is hurt, sometimes you might have a body part that takes a particular amount of stress, individual stress on its own. Things that will take stress, some people it's their fingers, some people it's their shoulders, some people it's their knees, other people it's their rib cage, and sometimes it's your ears, right, from cauliflower ear and stuff. So you take all these stresses, and the one that is the weak link will be the one that manifests itself first. So if you have, let's say weak shoulders, just worn out, and then one day you do something and you put, pressure on that shoulder, and the shoulder then snaps, right? Or dislocates, could be one. We've had 2 students actually, tear biceps, or not tear them, they dislocate the bicep. One of them was from overuse. The other one was possibly from underuse. And I say underuse because he didn't use his body to lift his opponent, instead used that arm to lift the opponent, and that just was the weak link, and that's what ended up tearing, unfortunately. So now he's in rehab. So, he already got fixed, and he's starting to edge his way back into the studio, which is good. And what that does is it kind of gave him 2 months to rest. Let the rest of his body kind of recuperate. And one thing you want to do is you want to actively rest. You don't want to just be a couch potato for 2 months. And granted, that is rest, but it's much better in my view to actively rest rather than to passively rest. Now, sometimes your body does need passive rest, but I think for the most part, for jiu-jitsu players, your body needs more active rest. So now, what is active rest? An active rest time is you just using other body parts to work out rather than the part that needs to rest. So if your knees are hurting, kind of aching and stuff, then maybe just play from your back more. Don't play on top. Don't play positions that will make you really, work your knees really hard and get your knees kind of bent around and twisted around and stuff that you normally would be able to handle. That would be a way to actively rest. And another way to actively rest is do the warm-up routine. So we do a warm-up routine every class, and that's a relatively low impact type of workout. It can be, if you keep the rests to a minimum, then it can be a very hard workout. But if your body is hurting, then maybe come in, just do the workout. Don't train jiu-jitsu. Let your body kind of recover. And that will help to prevent injuries going forward. Now, it's not to say you're not going to get injured, because jiu-jitsu is just that. It's not a matter of if you get injured, it's a matter of when you get injured, and we all do get injured. But learn to give your body some rest here and there. Now, since I am rehabbing my shoulders, I am actively and religiously going into rehab. I don't skip on that part. So every week I go in and get myself twisted up, get my shoulders twisted up and worked, and start to, build the strengthening exercises. And, my cousin, who's had 2 shoulder surgeries himself, told me that rehabbing shoulders is really tough because of the pain involved, and because, the stuff that you're used to doing that you won't be able to do because your shoulders are too weak to do it. And, those types of things make it tough, but still you need to go through it. And I've been using this time to rehab my shoulders, but also to rest the rest of my body as well. But I still exercise. I mean, here I am, I'm out walking over, by the lake here, and, getting some vitamin D in me naturally. It's sunny, so, I can do it here. Some of you may not be able to because you're in an area that's not quite as sunny, but here we are approaching summertime. So unless you're in the southern hemisphere of the earth, then, you should be able to get plenty of sun. It also keeps the COVID away too. So be sure to give your body periods of rest. People who go into the gym, for instance, and and they're bodybuilders or what have you, they tend to be better at giving their body rest. So, for instance, a bodybuilder might do a push-pull legs sequence, right? So push meaning they'll do anything having to do with push. So it could be a shoulder press, it could be a chest press, and they'll do those on a Monday, and then on Tuesday they'll do the pull. So they can do your back exercises, you can do your hamstrings, for instance. Those are all pull exercises. And then on the 3rd day they'll do legs, and the 4th day they'll rest. So on Monday, Tuesday, so Thursday's a rest day. So Friday they'll get back in the gym again, and they'll start the cycle all over again. So they'll do their push day on Monday, and then on Friday again. So they give their body time to rest. Now, if you do a CrossFit type of workout or a HIIT workout, oftentimes you're hitting all the muscles at once. Now, hopefully you're not hitting them too intensely, because if you hit them too intensely, you break stuff down, you hurt your joints, you hurt your ligaments, you hurt your tendons, and you're not giving your body rest if you do that type of workout daily. So you need to really watch when you do that type of workout, because those whole body workouts are good. Now, some people are more durable than others. Other people, they'll break. So, instead of, if you're going to do a whole body workout, maybe just take the intensity down a little bit, and instead of doing it, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or sometimes even Monday, Wednesday, Friday, give it another day or 2 rest. So there's something called the 2-day burn, which, bodybuilders know about. So if you do your hard workout on Monday, Tuesday it'll be kind of weak, you'll feel fatigued, but Wednesday is when the pain sets in on that muscle that you worked out on Monday. And then Thursday you start to feel better, which is why it makes sense to wait until Friday if you do a particularly hard workout on Monday. So you could actually take an active rest day if you like to do a whole body workout. You could emphasize a certain body part but still do everything. So, go 100% on legs on Monday and go 50% on everything else, And then on Tuesday, go 100% on, you know, any chest type exercises you may do in your HIIT or whole body workout. But make sure you rest the legs. You know, go very light on the legs. Don't add any weight. Do things more slowly and deliberately. Do things that give you a lot more stretch. You know, that might work. But, you know, that's the way you can train pretty much every day without a lot of undue stress on your body, right? And that keeps your conditioning up. That keeps your mind sharp, you know, as well as, you know, your body. So incorporating active rest days is a good way to do it. You know, another way that you can kind of do things is you do things maybe only at a 50% intensity. So instead of going 100% on a particular day for a particular body part or any body part, just go half, go 50%. So don't push too hard. So let's say you know that cold, you can get out of bed and you can bang out 100 push-ups. So instead, when you get out of bed, just do 50, and you can do that every day. Right? Instead of doing 100, because if you do 100, then the next day you're going to hurt, and then the day after you get that 48-hour burn, right? So instead, just do 50 every day, you know, and that way you can get more volume of work in. So that's a good way to do it as well. But also, get out, right? You know, getting a lot of fresh air is very good for you. You know, getting some walking in. You know, I don't like to run too much because my knees kind of feel sore, but if or walk quickly or something, but you know, just getting your body moving and breathing that oxygen in, you know, that's and take the mask off, right? Don't wear the mask, especially when you're outside. Anyway, that's another story. So keep your body well hydrated, well oxygenated, and well exercised. And when your body is telling you to slow it down, slow it down. And when you're rehabbing, rehab. And another thing, one last thought is that if you have a particular body part that is in need of addressing, right? So let's say you have a really bad knee. Let's say you know you tore your ACL. A lot of people will try to tough it out, and they'll go, nah, I'm not going to get the surgery. I'll rehab, or I'll wear a brace or something like that. What happens is that you're going to have a sore knee. And at various times, like I'll just give you an example, an ACL. Let's say you're walking down a ramp, like in a parking lot, for instance, in a parking structure, you're walking down the ramp to get to the elevator, right? Every step you take down is going to hurt, right? In fact, it might even feel like you're going to buckle when you're going to fall down. Same thing walking downstairs. So what will happen is, you know that's going to happen, so you end up favoring your other leg, your strong leg. Well, the more you favor it, you're going to now overuse that leg because you're favoring the injured leg, and you'll end up injuring your good leg as well. So you're going to end up with two bad legs. So if there's something that needs to be fixed, and it's something that will not fix itself, get it done sooner rather than later. So when I had my knee injury, you know, my torn meniscus as well as my frayed ACL, from the time that it was diagnosed to the time I got my surgery was probably about 2 weeks. You know, once I knew that it was something that would not heal on its own, then it was time. And I just bit the bullet, got it done, and did my rehab. And thankfully, my rehab was very quick. And I wasn't a spring chicken when I got my surgeries. You know, I was in my 40s. But when I got my meniscus repair done, I was, you know, they say that's an 8-week recovery. I was back in 4 to 6. But I did that what I'd mentioned about an active recovery, where I was in recovery mode, meaning I wasn't going really hard. I was moving. In addition to going to rehab, but when I was on the mat, I was moving, but I was being very cognizant of what, you know, I didn't want anything touching my knee. And as the rehab period finished, you know, 6 to 8 weeks, then I was back up to almost full speed. And then after about 12 weeks, I was up to full speed, except for the fact that I then had to get my ACL replaced. And that's a 6-month rehab, some people 9, right? But for me, I was actually rehabbed in 4 months. But it's because, you know, I did my rehab religiously. You know, I went to my PT, and I went and I made my appointments, and I kept my appointments. I didn't let anything else get in front of it. And, you know, my priority was to heal up. And so that I did it, and I recovered a lot faster than probably 99% of people who get an ACL repair. So I hope this kind of helps you to kind of think about your body and think about preserving yourself as well as working yourself out. You need to work it, but you also need to rest it, right? This is the only body you're going to get. So make sure you take the best care of it as you can, and make sure to nourish it right and all that kind of good stuff. And don't let bad habits get your body in a really bad situation that you'll have a harder time coming back from. So anyway, that's all I got for you. please feel free to come and visit one of our campuses. You know, Dave Kama has 3 campuses, one in Irvine, California, one in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and one in Austin, Texas. You know, you can also visit us on the website. You can, on the website at KamaJujitsuOnline.com, you can see our curriculum, you can see our technical videos. You know, Dave shows you the whole connection, visible jiu-jitsu stuff from all positions. And, you know, it's phenomenal stuff. So, you know, if you like where you're training, that's fine. You know, use something like a Kama Jiu-Jitsu Online to supplement what you're doing. Maybe even give you an edge on your training partners. Anyway, like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Take care. Happy training. Bye now.